There's a version of you that you have been postponing for years. You know the one, the version that gets up when the alarm sounds, the version that finishes what it starts, the version that is honest in the relationships that require honesty, the version that walks into the room and doesn't apologize for being there. You know exactly who that person is. You've imagined them thousands of times, and you've been postponing them for thousands of tomorrows. Tomorrow when I feel ready. Tomorrow when the timing is right. Tomorrow when I have more confidence. Tomorrow when life settles down. Tomorrow when I have a sign. Here is something that nobody says at the beginning of a year, or at the end of one, or in the ordinary middle of a Tuesday, when you realize another week has passed and you are standing in the same place. Tomorrow is not a day of the week, it is a feeling. And that feeling is fear wearing a very reasonable disguise. The most painful regrets in human life are not the things people did. They are the things people almost did. The call they didn't make. The business they didn't start. The version of themselves they kept saving for a future that never quite arrived. There is a specific kind of grief that comes from reaching a certain point in life and understanding, not with drama, but with quiet devastation, that the gap between who you are and who you are capable of being was built entirely out of postponed decisions. Not bad luck, not the wrong circumstances, postponed decisions. Let me ask you something that matters. If the person you are postponing could sit across from you right now and look at how you are spending your time, what would they say? Not cruelly, not with judgment, just honestly. Would they recognize the life you're living as one that is moving toward them? Or would they see someone who has become very comfortable with the distance between who they are and who they know they could be? Comfort is the most seductive trap in human existence because it doesn't feel like failure. It feels like rest. It feels like stability. It feels like being responsible. But there is a difference between rest and hiding. There is a difference between patience and paralysis. And deep down, you already know which one you're in. I am not asking you to change everything today. I am not asking for the dramatic transformation, the overnight reinvention, the perfect plan executed flawlessly from the first day of a new month. Those almost never work, and you already know that too. I am asking for one thing, one honest, uncomfortable, irreversible thing. Decide today that the person you have been postponing is worth showing up for. Not perfectly, not completely, not with everything figured out, just worth showing up for. Because here's what happens when you make that decision and hold it. Not immediately, not dramatically, slowly. The gap begins to close. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, not because the fear disappears, but because you stop adding distance to the gap and start moving toward it instead. One day, one honest choice, one moment of doing the thing when everything in you wanted to wait until tomorrow. The person you are postponing is not some distant ideal that you may or may not reach someday. They are the person you already are underneath the hesitation, underneath the delay, underneath the 1,000 reasonable explanations for why today is not the right day. Today is the right day. It was always the right day. The only question that has ever mattered is whether you are willing to stop postponing and start becoming. The person you've been saving for later is needed now.